So let me announce about this session, the next sessions after that. What is your planning? Let me announce in the end of our session today. And I also have to
Mhm.
say some few words about our session, about our practice. So I will explain and announce in the end of our session today. So right now you can, yeah, right now we would like to have some people who want to questions, who want to put their questions. Oh, there's one question. She said there's one question. Um, how to lose the monkey mind while meditating? How to get rid of the monkey mind? I think this is the question from someone. Um,
Yes, first one has to understand the monkey mind is troublesome. Most of the people in the world, they don't understand the troublesome nature of monkey mind. Unfortunately, most of us have monkey mind, but they take it for something normal. But when you want to practice seriously, the monkey mind is trouble. And knowing monkey mind is trouble is very important. So we start by knowing the monkey mind is trouble. And then we know what is the method to tame the monkey mind. In India or Sri Lanka, how do they tame a monkey? Hmm? They put banana, the monkey likes banana very much. They put banana in the cage with the big space between the rods, huh? And the monkey sees the banana in the cage, so he puts his hand into the cage and grips the banana, but be- because he cannot let out, so he keeps it, keeps it. So the hunter comes and get hold of it because he will not let the banana go. Hmm? So the clever monkey, he makes the cage, puts the banana in, and waits for monkey to see. Then monkey comes, grips the banana, and he can easily catch him because monkey mind never wants to let go. Hmm? It wants to grasp. And the taming of monkey mind starts because we understand grasping is troublesome. Grasping is trouble. In Chinese, they call fan now. It is trouble. Grasping is trouble, and the mind is in trouble because it is grasping. Hmm? So the hunter is like suffering, like samsara, suffering of samsara. Uh, the suffering can catch us, the distress can catch us, the trouble can catch us because we are grasping. If we don't grasp, we can take the hand out of the monkey, can take the hand out of the cage. And then he's free. But as long as the monkey grasps, he's not free. And the mind the same. As long as we grasp, we are not free. Now, living in the world, we have to grasp, but we have to grasp with wisdom. And grasping with wisdom, that is learning and meditation. Mhm. You grasp some object that is beneficial for you, not an object that is not beneficial for you. And you learn that because you grasp the object, even the object of meditation, you cannot make the mind flowing. Impossible. As long as we grasp, the mind will not flow. And when the mind does not flow, uh, we cannot find continuity in happiness, in satisfaction. Impossible. So the mind in meditation is a mind which flows. So when it flows, it has lightness, it has peace, it has relaxation, it has uh, at the same time straightness, it has pliability, and then the mind gives satisfaction. Otherwise, we have mind, but it does not give satisfaction. Monkey mind cannot give satisfaction. So this is should be very clear. The monkey mind meditation starts because we understand monkey mind is trouble. Fanao. Fanao, in Sanskrit, they say klesha. I don't know how it is in Tibetan, but klesha actually means to perturb, make disturbance in the mind. The monkey is a disturbance. Klish means to disturb. The monkey mind is a disturbance. But we have to understand the monkey mind is disturbance. Then we can learn the method, we can learn the theory, how to make this disturbance less. And when we become expert in meditation, no more disturbance. Then the life become different. Then we can live a very happy life. Even the body disturbed, and it will definitely disturb when you become my age. No exception, you will find disturbance in the body. But the mind, according to Buddha, does not need to be disturbed. It is disturbed because it is a monkey mind. Okay. Any other question?
I think that's all. That's all only.
That's all. So we
So
will learn that is my job, how to tame the monkey, or in India they also say wild elephant, or monkey. So the process of shamatha is a process of taming the wild elephant or taming the monkey. And maybe Kempole can show you in Tibetan, they have the pictures showing how the monkey is being tamed stage by stage. That is what we're going to learn. When you go to Kathmandu, you can find everywhere in the art shops the picture of the monkey, how it goes through the winding road and eventually get rid of trouble. It takes time. Okay, so I hope all of us are ready to invest some time into meditation. especially into Shamatha meditation. We have already learned that the peculiarity of the non-dualistic meditation is to combine the Shamatha and Vipassana as being one training. Especially you training with Kempole. So that is the essence of the Nyingma way, to combine Shamatha and Vipassana as one training. But first, some Shamatha has to be there, otherwise you cannot combine. Impossible. So now let us read the motivation and we can start.
Yes, Hong, please screen the motivation prayer. Please, everyone, generate a good heart um, for all the sentient beings who are our mother and father, and whatever we are receiving today, the teachings from Dhammadipa, we will receive this in order to help and liberate all our mother beings. Let me chant the prayer now. If you do not know about bodhicitta, then you can take it as a good heart. You have to generate a good heart for this practice and the teachings you're receiving from Dhammadipa. That is the good intentions. Janjo zemne rembo je maje bana genjurji kemba nyamba meba ya kone kondo meba sho. O precious and sublime bodhicitta, may it arise in those in whom it has not arisen. May it never decline where it has arisen, but go on increasing further and further. I'm requesting Dhammadipa to please start your teachings. Thank you very much.
So we have explained so far that the peculiarity of the training in meditation in the non-dualistic tradition, and non-dualistic tradition is based on bodhicitta, and bodhicitta is based on great compassion, not just compassion, but great compassion, and the pragya paramita, poje polomi, the for lack of better translation, they translate as transcendental wisdom, but actually, better translation may be great wisdom, non-dualistic wisdom. Non-dualistic wisdom, you would not say transcendent because it remains in the world, and in the world it goes beyond the world, not uh, abandoning the world, going beyond the world, but in the world, going beyond the world. That is pragya paramita, the perfection of wisdom. And that perfection of wisdom is we cannot acquire immediately. We have to practice this motivation all the time. I think Kampola has explained to you. Also in Chinese tradition, I was partly trained in Theravada, partly in Chinese tradition. We practice this bodhicitta all the time. In a traditional monastery, you have At the toilet, you have recollection of bodhicitta. At the bathroom, you have recollection of bodhicitta. At the field, you have recollection of bodhicitta. You always recollect the bodhicitta so that it becomes habit. And shamatha meditation, it is the same. The shamatha meditation, when you become familiar with it becomes habit. And whatever becomes habit, it is real. What we have to struggle for, that means it is not real. It is not part of us. Now, in the Sanskrit tradition, which is also Tibetan Chinese tradition, we explain the shamatha, the theory of shamatha, on the base of the nine abodes of the mind, called in Chinese Shinju. They are usually explained as the four dhyanas in the subtle form and four dhyanas in the formless objects. Uh, you will find this also in Yogacara. Yogacara appreciates very much this training, but in most of the living Mahayana tradition, like in Zen, Dzogchen, the Mahamudra, they appreciate this training, but it is not the essence of the training. The essence of the training is these nine stages of mind on the way to appeasement. We have to practice them. We have to get used to these stages, and we have to have some skillful means. Without skillful means, we only cannot apply. Like we may learn a lot about swimming, but unless we go into water, we will not appreciate any theory, really. So we just have to do it. And when we do it, and we are not used to, what will happen? This is very important to understand. We will repeat it again and again. Before I leave, I will hopefully give you a very clear idea. We start as a beginners, like when you uh, learn something new, there is a tension because you are trying to force things. Suppose you learned some musical instrument in the beginning when you play violin, the first weeks or months, you have a lot of tension. Similarly, when you learn a new language and you have to speak it, then you will have tension because you are not used. So the shamatha is a training in appeasement, and we are normally, unless you are uh, from birth very talented, it is very rare such cases, but mostly we are born with a monkey mind. This is quite natural. We want to grasp. Now, the difference between the child, and it is very important to keep the child's mind. In the Chinese tradition, we always repeat how important it is to keep the child's mind. The child is grasping, is crying, is grasping, but he immediately forgets when some new object comes, he forgets. And he is able to react in a completely different way. Now, we are adults. As a small child, it's very difficult to learn meditation. We are adults and we have our habits. And our habits are usually not meditation habits, unless we are born in special circumstances, like in Tibet, some Rinpoche born in the monastery, surrounded from early childhood by wise men. So the surrounding is very important, and people we are with is very important. Nowadays, modern life, we surrounded by people who are running here, running there, catching this, catching that, and this habit of peace is not common. So we have to create it. And how do we create it? Well, by understanding a forceful attention. There is a Chinese word for it, li li zuo bala avahana. Bala avahana. Bala means in Sanskrit force. Avahana means transport. We transport, we uh, conduct the mind to the object by force because we want to catch, we want to grasp, we want to appropriate for ourselves. This is mine. We do it, don't we? So, this is not a good habit for meditation. And you start learning meditation by getting used to apply your mind to the same object. The object of the job of shamatha is to keep the same object. When you keep the same object, you keep the same mind, same perception, same sensation. Hmm? The longer you are able to keep it, the stronger your mind becomes. Hmm? It is not easy because unless we train to keep the mind on the same object, our mind will not have a power. So this training in Shamatha, the Buddha compares to swimming. Now, in Buddhism, we are learning meditation to reach the other shore. The other shore is the shore free from trouble. This shore is like samsara, the other shore is like nirvana. In order to reach the other shore, we have to know how to swim, especially when you are in Vietnam, you want to swim across the Mekong River. You have to be a very, very good swimmer. Otherwise, you can't even dream. Hmm? So, this training in Shamatha is compared, Buddha has compared to learning to swim. So, if you go into water and you don't know how to swim, then you will sink. Similarly, if you want to attain the uh, enlightened mind, Unless you have shamatha, you will sink on the way. You will never reach your aim. Impossible. We can only do, this is the emphasis of Buddhism. That is how I became Buddhist. Rather than believing blindly, we have to understand. We have to be clear about what we're doing. Hmm? So, if we want to train well in whatever training we undergo, we have to understand clearly. So, you want the shamatha training. It is very important to understand what you want to achieve and how you achieve it, and what are the skillful means to achieve it. Otherwise, you will sink in the middle. And you are learning shamatha not to sink in the middle, but to get a clear mind. Shamatha is a clear mind. That is meaning of shamatha. We cannot have appeasement with a non-clear mind. And we have explained the non-clear mind. We have explained has 5 hindrances. It is either excited or lethargic, either going up or going down, either uh, distracted or not sensitive, not clear. And this mind is not a happy mind. Impossible. We cannot be happy with a very distracted mind, and we cannot be happy with a stupid mind. We can only be happy with a clear mind. In whatever we are doing, we can only be happy with a clear mind. Now, to get the clear mind, the first step is to understand that the clear mind cannot come merely by force. You cannot force the mind to be clear. It is impossible. But when we start learning something, we start by forcing it. This is natural. But the beginner, unless he forces himself, he will never progress. So this is the dilemma. We should know that forcing is not good, but we have to force. Why we have to force? Because we have not the habit, and the habit will not arise because we decide it must be there. It will come because we practice and we understand our practice. So the practice of shamatha is the practice of isolating the mind from the outer impressions and bringing mind back to the body, to the uh, sensation, to the differentiation, to the objects of the mind. This is called the four foundations of mindfulness. This is the first step in meditation, practice of the four foundations of mindfulness. And these four foundations of mindfulness is the base for meditation. In order to be aware of the body, we have to bring the mind to the body. In order to be aware of the sensations, we have to bring the mind to the sensations. In order to be aware of differentiation, we have to bring the mind to perception. And in order to be aware of the objects of the mind, we have to bring the mind to the meditation object. Because the meditation object is the object of the mind. You can create it by eyes, you can create it by ears, you can create it by touch, but it has to become inner object, the mental object. Why? Well, you have to experiment yourself. Nobody will explain to you. According to Buddhism, the touch of the mind with the mental object is what makes the mind, which what makes the touch subtle. If we only rely on the outer objects, it is the monkey mind. The first question was how to uh, how to tame the monkey mind. This is the answer: to bring the mind to the mental touch, not just let it be on the objects of the five senses, bring it to the mind. This bringing the object to the mind is called viveka. Viveka means isolation. In Sanskrit also means wisdom. In order to develop mental wisdom, we have to bring the mind home. Not keep it only outside, but even while keeping it outside, we have to be aware of our home. Our home is our heart. In Indian philosophy, in Chinese philosophy, in Tibetan philosophy, the mind is translated as a heart. Shin must be same in Vietnamese. Uh, until very recently, and even now, most of the scientists believe that the seat of the mind is in the brain. The brain is, in Indian philosophy, is only support of the heart. But the real dwelling of the mind is the heart. And the only heart can bring a deep understanding into how our mind works. The brain cannot bring a deep understanding. Why the heart can uh, bring a deep understanding? Because the heart is inside. It is in the body. It is in the sensations. It is in the differentiations. It is in the mental objects. for a meditator, even the objects of the five senses, they are never separated from the mind. That is why this is called discipline. The four foundations of mindfulness, they are entry into the discipline of taming the monkey mind. Without this mind keeping being kept inside, we have no real skillful means of taming the monkey mind. Now, I had the one period of my life I spent as a forest monk with the monkeys. I am quite familiar with the behavior of the monkeys. Uh, there must be some in Vietnam. I did not go, but in Sri Lanka, where I used to live, plenty of monkeys, and they make terrible noise, and they always fighting. And they are very wonderful creatures. I really like them. But when you put something pleasing, they will be very happy and grasp. When you change it to something which does not please them, they will show you their teeth, and they will want to bite you. No control. Why? Because they only have mind. Their mind is their heart is only outside, only instinct. Now, according to Buddhism, this is what you learn in all Buddhist traditions. This human existence is very precious. Uh, it is incredibly precious. We don't appreciate how hard it is to get the human existence. Buddha even exaggerates, saying it's like a blind turtle surfacing once in 100 years and putting the neck uh, through the ring that is floating on the surface of the ocean. So rare is to get the human existence. Of course, it is the teaching to make to wake us up. If we want to meditate, we have to have strong determination. Without determination, we will never learn to meditate. Impossible. So this is a way to get determination, to understand how precious this moment is. We can learn meditation, we can get some peace in the mind, and this is the best investment in our life, the best interest is to spend some time meditating. You get the best interest, and that is the peace of mind. There is no better interest from investing. Investing, best investment is in the mind. That investment, uh, you don't need to be worried about the crisis when you little advance in meditation, especially the Tibetan meditation. You even learn from the turbulence. The turbulence is a wonderful learning, but mind has to be in peace. So what to do? First step is called Nei Ju Stapayati, to establish the mind on the mental object, not let it run out to all kinds of other objects. Even if you see a form like the Buddha, it's always connected with the mind. If you pay attention to the breath, when the breath becomes object of a concentrated mind, it will become mental object. You don't follow anymore. You are aware. When you breathe in, there will be warmth. When you breathe out, when you when you breathe out, there will be warmth. When you breathe in, there will be coolness. The, the, the touch of the breath will be hard or will be soft. You will be aware of it, but the object becomes mental when you have concentration. You be you are aware of it, but it is not anymore object of your attention. Object of your attention becomes a kind of the concept of the mind, concept of the breath. That is mental concept. You don't need anymore, even so you feel hardness, softness of the breath, warmth, coolness of the breath. It is not your object anymore. When you have concentration, it is just the breath, the fact that you are breathing in and breathing out. And that breath becomes a very subtle breath, soft breath, easy going, easy coming. You don't need to force it. In the beginning, you force it. But when it becomes a mental object, you don't need to force it. It just comes and goes by itself. You don't need to do anything. Just stay with the breath. But because we are grasping at the breath, so the breath is not comfortable. Why the breath is not comfortable? Because we are grasping at the breath. This is called bala avahana, the forceful transport of the mind to the breath. We want to learn meditation, we have to learn that this forceful attention, bala avahana, li li zuoi, it is that which prevents us for being at ease with our object. We want to force our attention. Because we want to force our attention, we are not comfortable with what we're doing. This is true in meditation, but it is also true in daily life. We learn meditation to live a better daily life. And if we have bodhisattva motivation, not only to live ourselves a better life, but also to help others to live a better life. Unless we ourselves understand how to live a better life, how shall we teach others? It is not possible. So when we understand that this forceful attention brings trouble, then we will learn how to avoid forceful attention. And when we have learned it, we can also help others. So when we start learning something, this forceful attention is natural. It is not something we can decide, I don't want it. It is quite natural when we do something we don't know, we do it forcefully. But even so, when we do it forcefully, we will not be happy with what you're doing. When you teach someone new meditation, he will not be convinced it is the best thing to do because he's trying to force it, and when he forces it, he has no, he's not happy with what he's doing, and when he's not happy what he's doing, then he will just drop it because he will find many other things more interesting than just uh, sitting there and keeping the meditation object in mind. He will find always some other things more important, more urgent. Nowadays, people are very busy in Vietnam, even in Tibet now. People very busy. This is a modern world. So, unless we have determination and understanding what we're doing, we will drop it. We will not stay with it. So, this understanding is very important. That's why we learn these 9 stages to understand how we go from trouble to less trouble, less trouble, less trouble. That is when Rinpoche may show you the this monkey going through the 2 bends, trying to cultivate his mind. At first, he is very uncomfortable. He is forcing it, so he clutches sometimes the elephant or horse or whatever. He clutches it and drags him like a crazy. But he continues because he continues doing something which he is not familiar with. He can have some results, and the result of this continuity is called samstapana. Samstapana. That is the second stage. In Chinese, they translate as Tangju. Tang means here continuity. Uh, when there is continuity, so you have some idea. Well, now I can keep my breath, my mind on the breath for 10 in breath and out breath. So I am getting better. My meditation is better. Before, even after 2, 3, 4 in breath, out breath, it was running somewhere else. Now I can keep it for 10 breaths, even 20 breaths. Same with other objects like the Buddha statue. It does not run to any other object. So you have some confidence that what you're doing, it can bring results. Hmm? When I was a kid, my parents wanted me to learn some musical instrument. This is the same procedure. I just was desperate in the beginning and really hated it. I had to go every week to play, and I really hated it. I did not want to go. but because I have to obey my, so I go. And this was theory was very boring. Do re mi fa sol la si do. I had to pray. Oh, it was so boring, and so I was so disgusted. But I continued, and finally, after uh, several lessons, it was less terrible. It was still not good, but it was less terrible. Hmm? So I had a little bit of confidence. It can bring something. Hmm? So one has to have the understanding that it is beneficial, and one has to get the motivation that it is really very, very important to get the peace of mind. Unless I do it, I will not get the peace of mind. And peace of mind is the best investment in life. So, despite the fact that I am not feeling happy with my meditation object, I am forcing it, I stay with it, and because I stay with it, I get some results. Even if one is not very gifted like most of us, especially myself, maybe. It took me many, many, many years to learn this, to learn thoroughly that the forceful attention will not bring anything good. But one has to learn, and one has to have patience to learn. Huh? One has to let go. This is why uh, in we learn the paramis. Huh? One has to be more giving than trying to get for oneself. One has to have more discipline to bring a more discipline to the five senses, to learn to the what is called indriya samvara, the restraint of the senses. Success in meditation is based on restraint of the senses. The Buddha goes so far as to say that this restraint of the senses hmm, is uh, the actually the not just beginning of meditation, but it is the end of meditation. When you become a Buddha, you are naturally restrained in all the senses. So it's not only beginning, it is also the end of meditation. There is one very wonderful sutra. It is called Sagara Sutta, the uh, Sutra of the Great Ocean. Hmm? The Buddha explains, you monks, the eye is like the big ocean, and the colors, they are like waves in the great ocean. This is very important for understanding Kempo teaching Dzogchen. Eye is a great ocean. The colors, they are the waves in the great ocean. One who can tolerate the waves in the great ocean of the eye, he can cross this great ocean. Similarly, the ear is a great ocean, nose is a great ocean, the nose, the tongue, the body is a great ocean, and most important, the mind, which is the base of the five, is a great ocean. one who can tolerate the waves in the great ocean of the mind in the form of ideas, in the form of thinking. He can cross this great ocean. So this is called Indriya Samvara, the restraint of the senses. So we are learning the trouble of the forceful attention to restrain the senses. And to restrain the senses, we need mindfulness, smrti. Unless we bring smrti, mindfulness, Jenyen, into meditation, we will not find easiness in what we're doing, be it meditation and be it everything else. So the key to progress in meditation is this samyak smrti, the Jenyen, the right mindfulness. And the right mindfulness means we understand the trouble of forceful attention. This forceful attention is does not bring peace to the mind because we have understood it, because we have experimented on ourselves, and we have no other laboratories in our own body, our own sensations, our own differentiations, our own mental objects. This is our laboratory. We can only succeed in this laboratory. And we have to bring to this laboratory mindfulness, smrti bala. When we bring in mindfulness, so there is no more bala avahana. There is no more attention by force, by forcing the mind to the object, but the mindfulness comes in. When the mindfulness comes in, the forceful attention becomes less. Forceful attention becomes less, the mindfulness becomes more. The forceful attention becomes more, the mindfulness becomes less. This is how a meditator makes a progress. So this stage of bringing the mindfulness in is called avastapana, anju. Ava in Sanskrit means down. We settle down at the object, not by force, but by attention, by mindfulness. Now, in Buddhism, we differentiate between the wrong mindfulness, mithya smrti, pujanyen, and right mindfulness, janyen. What is the difference? I like the story of the cat. I used to have two cats, but now cannot have because I am traveling and when I'm not here, nobody can take care. But the cat is very wonderful creature to learn uh, how to be vigilant. The cat is uh, like a small tiger, very, very vigilant, but especially vigilant. Why did I have a cat? Because I had mice here. I was not often here, so the mice started to like the place. I live in a very old house, uh, almost 300 years old, made of only wood and stone. So a lot of holes uh, in the floor, so they can bite through. And when nobody is here, then it becomes their paradise. No, they can multiply very quickly. So, what is the best way to get the cat? Mice are gone. Now, when you watch the cat catching the mice, wonderful, so vigilant, and then it just jumps. The cats are the uh, the mice are very fast, but the cat has to be faster than the mice, and it does the job very well. It is so alert that immediately as the uh, mice puts the head out, immediately it jumps. So this is called the wrong mindfulness. That means you are mindful to catch something, to grasp something, to hold something for yourself, and to push everybody away. So this is called the wrong mindfulness. With the wrong mindfulness, you can only have a wrong samadhi, wrong concentration. Some people, they can be very concentrated, but they are only concentrated to get something. This is not the Buddhist concentration. The right concentration is what? To uh, see the object, but not to grasp, not to reject, but keep in mind by force of uh, right attention. In future, may learn more about what is right attention, what are the stages of right attention. The right attention starts with right mindfulness. Hmm? Because we have right mindfulness, then we pay attention to the object, uh, not by force, but by as a neutral observer. So we can start making real progress in meditation. So eventually, when we train and continue training, then we reach the fourth stage, which is called upastapana. That means in our meditation, we can stay with the meditation object for a long time without losing it. not because our force of mindfulness, this is the first force that has to crystallize to become a yogi. The force of mindfulness has crystallized, so we stay with the object. Even we are aware of the other objects, our mind gives rise to some other idea, but we don't lose our meditation object. So we are ready for deeper training. This readiness for deeper training is based on, in Buddhism, on these four foundations of mindfulness. The essence, as Abhidharma Kosha explained, the essence of four foundations of mindfulness is the right mindfulness, Jen. The essence of Jen is to pay attention to the body, to the sensations, to the perceptions, to the mental objects, not by force, but by uh, right mindfulness. When there is right mindfulness, the forceful attention goes away. When there is wrong mindfulness, the forceful attention does not go away. We may be very vigilant, but the forceful attention does not go away. So even though we can do our job okay, but we will not be at ease. The initial feeling of easiness comes in this fourth stage when we can stay with a meditation object not by force but by fluidity of keeping the right attention without forcing. So this is the window or door, true door to the secrets of meditation. Hmm? Without this fourth stage, avastapana, the keeping the object in the mind without forcing it, then we will not attain the deeper stages of meditation and our mind will not come to the state of peace. So that much for today. I don't want to bring too many new things. Now, if you apply it to the breath, then what will happen at this stage when you pay attention to the breath? It will happen that you don't need to force the breath. So when you don't need to force the breath, then the breath will don't make a sound. It will be a silent breath. The breath will become more soft, more comfortable. Only when the breath becomes more comfortable, more soft, you can detach from it. Otherwise, you will always want to grasp it. And there will be continuity of the breath and of the mind dwelling on the breath. So when you have this conditioning, you can say, oh, well, there is progress in meditation, but as Buddha always emphasized, you should not be satisfied with this stage. There is so much more to learn. But this stage is the base. It's a base for deeper learning. So I hope you will invest some time to make this stage clear and let this stage have some continuity so that you can get the satisfaction or initial satisfaction with what you're doing. Now you learn shamatha, so you are doing shamatha. The satisfaction in shamatha will start to crystallize in this stage. You don't pull your mind to the meditation object like in Vietnam or in India. They pull the buffalo. Hmm? They pull the buffalo from the pasture back to his home. Huh? They pull him this all force, otherwise the buffalo will not go. Hmm? So they have to either pull him and beat him with a stick. Hmm? Then the buffalo will go. So at this stage, you don't need uh, to use the stick. You don't need to pull it by force. The buffalo will go, and when it goes, then you can have some. When the breath goes by itself, you don't need to force it. Then it is becomes easy to stay with the breath. It will become smoother. It will become softer. You will get some initial satisfaction with meditation. So you will be able to meditate for in a better state of mind and body for a longer time. So just do it. So that much for now. Let us keep for the next week. In next week, we will explain some other principles connected with what we have learned. Please try to repeat what we have learned today so that you can see clearly in your own body, in your own mind, what the Buddha and the great teachers have explained. How is it connected with my experience? Hmm? Is it real what they teach? Does it make sense? You cannot learn from the book. We have to go into the water and do it to see how these great teachers made it accessible, this great teaching to us, using all kinds of skillful explanations, all kinds of skillful means to bring us to feel happy inside. Okay, so let us transfer Mary first in English, then Rinpoche will do the Tibetan version. Hmm? I
Before you start your prayers, I think we should do the 5 minutes meditation for today,
okay.
and then next time we will do a little more. So those who have we have received many teachings, so it will heal and you know it will help what to how to concentrate your mind, your teaching. teachings.
let me say a few words. Huh?
Today we will do the
The
5 minutes. Next time we will do a little more longer after your
Emperor
teachings.
stay in comfortable posture. Huh? If you on the chair, try to keep your spine straight. When the spine is straight, the body, mind become vigilant. Huh? And so this is the first step. In order to isolate mind from outside, we have to bring it inside, and to keep it inside, we have to have firm and comfortable posture. Firm and comfortable posture. Okay, now 5 minutes. Now it is 15:25, so until 15:30. If you distract it outside, then you can close your eyes, but keep the mind vigilant. If you're not distracted outside, you can keep your mind slightly open. That may be the best position. And while breathing, please keep relaxing. When you relax, then the breath becomes comfortable. But avoid sleepiness. And so it seems the time is 15:30 on my.
Okay.
So let us do the Punya Parinama, Huishan, transference of merit. I will do in the short version in maybe Chinese and English. Chinese must be same in Vietnamese. 愿以此功德，普济一切，我等一众生，皆共成佛道。May the merit of this Dharma spread to all beings so that we attain the state of perfect realization. Om. So now the Tibetan version,
Yes,
Book
Hong Kong.
1.
Thank you. Before we leave today, I also want to say that now, if you want to make offerings to Dhammadipa, if you want to support his activity and want to send donations, please send your donations to the PayPal that is in our registrations link. Also, it's also is in our Facebook. And those who are Vietnamese, they can also send the bank account that is also sent in the Facebook and the Zalo. So we will collect the donations for Dhammadipa and offerings. And in the next sessions, the last sessions, which I want to offer to Dhammadipa before we conclude the 6 sessions. Thank you. Hong, can you screen the dedication prayer?
Oh, yeah.
Long ren tempe me jen dim len do me nga zamben te zon mu nan jong gong jo wen je ne lo chi shen sa she ra sun je na wa gen bar sho Lama kukan sangwa sowa de chodong kuze rinbar sowa de chinlen dajin jenbar sowa de lama dan jawa membar jinje lo Peme ren lo ngan juren zomba che nye den nyimbo shin dan dun jong le kan ye sam den denpa sin tenpa me no she dan chun ben zin juren chi ken lo che zon ren lo che Zamle zazon jambar pe Drajun shazon nawada Minjan duzon gele sho. Thank you very much, Dhammadipa. Thank you very
Xin
much
cảm
for
ơn
Thank
thầy
you.
Dhammadipa rất nhiều.
teaching.
Thank
And thank
you.
everyone who participated today.
Cảm ơn tất
Also,
cả mọi người hôm nay đã tham gia.
thank you for Ha Chen for
Xin
your
cảm
interpretation.
ơn bạn